we begin with the session. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining for the session in the evening. Great, I think we can start now. Once again, a very good evening to everyone who has joined us for the webinar today. My name is Sana. I am Senior Career Coach with Mindler. I have two more career coaches with me. So I know all of you are looking at different areas, and all of you might be looking forward to a lot of questions being answered through this webinar, and we'll try our best to cover most of it. Now, before we begin with that part, I'll give you a quick introduction. So we are joined by Ms. Sunita. She is an expert in STEM domains and careers, comes with decades of experience with her PhD in physics. She could be a go-to person when it comes to anything related to STEM careers. She's one of our senior coaches. We also have Mr. Abhishek here, who heads the study abroad a vertical at Mindler, and he has worked with thousands of students for applications, not for just study abroad, but also for India, liberal education. So before we move on to catering to a lot of your questions and talking about applications, we know at this point, especially for grade 12, when most of you and a lot of students we have been talking to on a daily basis are struggling with what more universities to apply to, what could be the backup. Some applications have closed, some are yet to be there. Some of you have also might have heard from certain universities, and some of us are still struggling what courses to apply to or what backups to keep in mind. Can I request all of you to quickly use the chat box to tell me that if you're a student, are you a parent, if you're a student, which grade you are in, so that we could accordingly cater to your timelines, help answer your questions accordingly. Great, grade 12. So you've just gone to 12th, or you're just passing 12th. We also have been joined by parents. Great, welcome to all the parents past grade 12. Okay, so all of you who wrote your boards this year, you must be going through your entire application process, and the entire purpose of the session today is to make that hassle journey easier for you, because we understand multiple deadlines coming together. Planning to apply as a freshman student who has just given the 12th papers. And we also have certain students who have just gone to 12th. Great. So for you, it's going to be equally helpful, because you would know what mistakes to avoid and how to plan in advance, so that 1 year from now, when you're at this point of time, you would have already planned better. Great, amazing. So when we're talking about different careers to all of you, so that it is easier for you to understand careers, domains, and also applications deadlines, we'll be talking to all of you in terms of careers and applications and universities in terms of commerce and management, STEM careers, their humanities careers, and a lot of other areas which you might want to know about. So I think we can start with commerce and management careers. Over to you, Abhishek, for that.
Very wonderful. Thank you, Sana. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. Just to build on what Sana said, I have a quick question which I think will set the context further for everyone. Take a minute, think about the last couple of years. They have been very interesting for good and bad reasons. Ask yourself what, according to you, are the fastest growing industries, not careers, industries. Based on what has happened in the world today, what are the fastest growing industries? Okay, Aditi, sure, AI. Data analysis is not an industry, it's a particular career domain. I said an industry. AI, I'm still counting as an industry. We are not in 1995. IT is not an industry anymore. 2025. Let's not call IT an industry. Don't give me answers your parents would have as well. Finance, electrical automobiles, healthcare, very renewable energy. Now we're thinking medicine, hospitality, absolutely. Healthcare, done. Think of the fastest growing industries. Think of what has happened in the world. Yes, very interesting. Organic farming, infrastructure, real estate. Sure, I agree. What about our friend Elon? Anything that he's doing interests you? Space as an industry? Space, yeah. What about defense? Thank you, Jakshu. Space tourism, wonderful. What about defense as an industry? Is it the most important industry in the world right now? We have had two impending wars. One is questionable right now. We are involved in that. Geopolitics, sports, important industries. Now, great. Thank you so much. Everyone's very aware. Now, take a second and think. When I asked fastest growing industry, how did you evaluate that? Based on the revenue coming in the industries, based on the money those industries are measuring? That's exactly what commerce as an industry looks at. How quickly, rapidly careers and industries grow. Now, when we look at commerce, the first mindset is, oh, let's become a chartered accountant. Let's go and do a BCom honors. Let's do a BBA. Commerce is not just about this. The movement of money, the movement of goods and services is also part of commerce. And commerce is a very rich field. You can't think of one company in the world that can survive without it. You can't think of one industry that can survive without it. So if somebody tells you that, and I think I say it for all of us, every single domain we speak about, commerce, science, humanities, has equal number of opportunities as we speak today. You have to just understand how to go about it. I wanted to spend some time and give you an idea of not the careers you all know about, but the careers that can possibly exist. Now, I'm going to just press enter and just share a list with you. Now, when I was doing my research to come here and talk to you guys, I realized these are the most Googled terms in the last 1 year when you look at commerce as a career. Now, some of you might realize that, oh, these fields, are they from commerce? Are they from science? Are they from humanities? But these are the most interesting fields that commerce students are getting into. And what I mean by that, after doing the respective degrees in whatever domain, if I want to build a career in commerce and related fields, these are the most popular terms they're looking at. Now, how do you plan for a career in commerce? First, understand whatever subject you like. Commerce, accounts, business studies, economics, combined with math, psychology, computer science, whatever that might be, have multiple combinations. I'm not here to talk about the most cliched careers you all know about. Now, all of us watched the IPL. We saw what brilliant that kid did yesterday. The world is talking about him at 14. But I want to talk about something else. Take a second and tell me, what is it that you can do if you were part of IPL today? If you were not playing the sport, what careers would you participate in? I'm not a cricketer. I want to work at IPL. What careers can I have with commerce at the IPL? Only commerce related careers that with your subjects you can still get into very quickly. As a commerce student with your subject combinations, you know what they are. What could you possibly do? Management, of course, Deepak, thank you. Brand manager, finance, hospitality, media. Also, we have careers in commerce other than CA. Wonderful. I'm glad. This makes me happy. Marketing and sponsorship, yes. Who would have, who was sitting with Rahul Dravid, putting the money and betting on the Suryavanshi kid? What is that person doing? Financial analyst, data scientists. Thank you so much. These are all part and extensions of commerce careers. So when you're looking at careers, ask yourself, I want to work in a company. I want to build a startup. What role will I play? And to do that role, what degrees are going to be helpful? The second you use this simple methodology, your life is easy. I'm going to write down one statement. And this statement is true for any domain. Right career in the right industry and the right countries, all that we are trying to optimize for. Sunita ma'am, Sana will talk about the same thing, but I want to give you a simple idea. Every single firm needs a function. Today, I want to be a financial analyst. I don't have to work at a bank. I can also go work at a Netflix and Spotify. I can still work in Google, Apple, Microsoft and do sales, marketing, operations, supply chain, distribution, logistics. These are all functions of commerce, but in a tech company as well. So three things that I want to leave you with is I can have a career in commerce in any industry. One, doesn't matter what my academic background is. Second, even if I don't want to pursue a standard degree with my subject, it's all right. There are multiple courses which Sana will talk about at the end as well that are stream agnostic. To give you a taste of it, hospitality, law, journalism, media, art, design in most forms is possible with your subjects as well. So you're not only limited to those careers. Third, with maths, without maths. There are a lot of careers that you can pursue with commerce and without maths. For example, in India, if you're still looking at some of the good schools, you will be able to apply without mathematics. But a lot of colleges won't allow. If you're still planning to look at studying abroad without maths, I can't look at the best courses possible. No, we will talk about we are coming to sciences and humanities as well. Don't worry, Aditi. Here we are breaking down all the domains. And at the end, we will cover up all the other questions you might have in mind. But I want to establish with commerce, I have multiple avenues opening up, right? And I'll circle back to this. Wonderful. Sunita ma'am, do you want to take over?
Yeah. So when it comes to science also, so I have, as an extension from what Abhishek has told, when it comes to science, you have physics, you have chemistry, you have mathematics, and again, you have computer science in front of you. And a lot of careers comes out with these, with physics and with the combination of physics, chemistry, mathematics, also a lot of careers comes for us, right? When it comes to now we are moving into a world where we are going to have smartware, that is specs. We are going to have smart wearables. We are going to deal with the AR, VR. We are dealing with the self-driving cars. With these things, we have to think how our career will be going to be after 5 years or 6 years from now, because the entire career world and the regular life is going to be dominated with what you say, the technology, and whatever course and the course that you're going to choose right now is going to become will help you to lead a better career life later, after this, after maybe 4 or 5 years later, right? So currently there are more 12 students also here in the session, and it is about, when we are talking about the final countdown, already the JEE mains exams has the session result has come out, and most of you will know where you are right now with respect to the percentage, etc. Now you will have to connect, you will have to do get into the previous year, what you say, previous year cutoffs, and find out where you can be with respect to NITs or triple ITs or even IITs also, right? So there will be some students who didn't do very well, whose score is not as expected as it. And those students will have to work on BITSAT. The session 1 is going to happen in May, in the first week of May, and session 2 is going to happen in the first week of June. Again, VIT Triple E is over. Still, there are SRM is open for you people, those who have got less score. They can even try phase 2, which is going to happen in June, and phase 3, which is going to happen in July. You have Manipal also, which is going to happen in May 12th. So all these exams, let us prepare well for those exams. Kashish, we will speak about PCB career options also. Okay. Now, when it comes to these exams, you have enough time to prepare for these exams, those who have got lesser score in JEE mains again. And apart from this, there are, most of you must have done your state CET exam also. CUET is also coming up. So with respect to this, you have to think, you have to make sure that how you're going to prepare for the last minute process, whether it is NEET or other engineering entrance exams also, right? So see to that you are working on only the previous year question papers, and concentrate on mock test. Don't work on new topics right now. It is not a good idea. So you have left with 2 or 3 weeks. Focus on these exams, those who have applied, and work on the exams. Now, coming to those who have not were applied to certain institute level entrance exams, there are also institutes like JP, Topper, Bennett, and all. They will also accept board marks for the admission for BTech program, definitely, and for which you will have to apply for the do the application process now itself, right? So apart from this, there are students who have completed their, who have got a better score in JEE process, JEE mains, as well. They will have to work on the JEE advance, which is going to happen in the May 18th again. So after this, after all these things, the counseling starts for JEE, that is JOSA counseling starts, followed by CSAB counseling also, CSAB NEWT counseling, CSAB supernumerary counseling, and CSAB special round counseling also starts. So that CSAB will always be followed by JOSA. So JOSA, through JOSA counseling, all the students who have got the JEE main score can apply through JOSA for getting into NITs, IIITs, and GFTIs. And those who are still waiting for JEE Advanced, they will have to get the score, and then they will have to apply for JOSA, which is going to happen in the month of June. Now, coming to the next part is the science students who are looking for research, like research institutes, like basic science courses, whether it is BS degree or integrated MSc degree or dual degree, they will also have to, if they want to get into IITs, they will have to take part in JOSA counseling, and they will have to write JEE Advanced also, right? So if you want to get into these courses in IITs, JEE Advanced is very, very important. And when it comes to IISc, JEE Advanced score is important. But apart from this, students should have written IAT, that is IISERAT, where in round 1, IISc considers JEE Advanced score for BS courses, and in round 2, IISc considers IAT score for BS courses. Okay, so IISc has only one beta course, that is with respect to math and computation. Now, apart from the IISCR and IIT exam, you have NEST, you have ISIAT and CMI. All these exams are going to happen in the month of, that is May and June. So I want all of you to prepare very well. Second thing is that also work for the backup options. It is going to be very, very important. When it comes to this IISc, IIT, all are top-notch institutions. And when it comes to these top-notch institutions, by the time you write the exam and by the time the counseling starts for these institutions, it becomes June, July. By the time, most of the colleges will close their admissions, right? Admissions for the rest of the courses. So I want all of you to prepare for that and make sure that you have a bunch of colleges in your kitty before you start with these counseling process again. Now, apart from this things, there is one more very important thing which I wanted to share with you people is today, when it comes to colleges and courses, we are also in the thing that is on the way to choose the right college and right courses, like Abhishek was telling towards the end, right? So in that case, what happens is there is a lot of things going on with AI and DS. So AI and DS are the most, most popular course right now where everybody are looking for. And when it comes to choosing the right college for these particular courses, you have to be very, very careful, because one of the major challenge when it comes to AI and DS, there are a lot of challenges also that comes along with when it comes to the college selection also, because since it is a new course, you need to find out you need to look at the right infrastructure for these courses, because these courses are being offered by the institutes after 2021. So when it comes to after 2021, most of the college lack the right infrastructure, and some of the college also lack the faculties who can teach the new age technology, because these new age technologies require good levels of hands-on experience, whether in terms of projects, internships, industrial collaborations. Unless you have the right faculty, you are right faculty there in place, you cannot be guided properly, because all these require a lot of practical exposure. Okay. And second thing is that it is also all the students should know, when you are going for BTech program, these courses, whether it is AI or DS, are math heavy programs, and little bit familiarity with programming is also required, where you need to be mentally prepared to take up these courses. Okay. And you also should have that AI DS are fast evolving field, where new tools, techniques, trends comes up every year. Keeping with update outside the syllabus is hard for the students who are juggling with multiple subjects also. So you need to be adaptable and flexible and have the curiosity to know what is happening next. So When it comes to choosing the college, you have to choose in such a way that it has a good infrastructure. It has trained faculties, especially meant for AI, so that some industrial experts are coming in and teaching the students. And apart from all these things, we should also need to have a channel to depend upon what I can do extra from or through the certification course or through projects, how I can improve these areas. If this is possible, then I will be easily seen or viewed by the what you say, the employers or employers to a larger extent. So with this, I will transfer this thing to Sana. Sana, you can take up from here.
Great. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, Abhishek was talking about careers and, the new age careers. We'll be talking about more careers with humanities, because when we see humanities as a domain, it is huge, right? Because when I say humanities, social sciences, like Abhishek mentioned, it is also about subject and stream uh, agnostic areas, which anybody with any set of subjects could do. So let's say even if you're a science student who decides to, take up something which comes along with technology and certain domains in social sciences and humanities, or might want to completely switch on to areas which are stream agnostic, that possibility is there. Now, before moving to the career bit, I have a quick question for all of you. When I say humanities, what are certain subjects which you relate it with, the common ones which you know of? And we'll of course expand the list, and then we'll move to careers with those subjects. Uh, Quickly. Okay, English is one domain that comes, of course, with any stream as languages. History, of course, we cannot forget history when we say humanities. Okay, what else? Geography, yes. Global perspectives, okay. What else? What are other subjects? Political science, of course, civics, politics, political science. Absolutely. Thank you for bringing that up. Economics. Economics is as much a social sciences domain as much it is a commerce domain, right? Psychology, of course, we have seen the demand, the scope for psychology increase in the last decade, like anything sociology. Uh, yes, of course. So we are also talking about domains like languages, English, to areas like political science, sociology, philosophy. And the best part of it, there is an overlap, right? One element overlaps with other. But when you pick up a course in a university, let's say, especially if you're looking at an honors course in anything into social sciences, remember, when you're picking up a honors or you're picking up a major in one of the domains, you're going into in-depth study in that area. So you also have to be sure and explore the domain a little further than just scoring good marks in that particular subject in, let's say, 11th and 12th. Because going for higher studies in that domain is, studying it at a higher level. Now, when I look at these domains, the very first thing or the very initial career, which when I talk to a lot of students, which comes to their mind with subjects of humanities, is basically teaching, right? Becoming a teacher or becoming a professor in a university. But there is so much more that you could do, from becoming a culture research specialist to an ethnographer to somebody who specializes in studying election trends and domains, to being a market research specialist into, let's say, qualitative research, to going into areas like public relations, going into areas like public policy, international relations, or even with subjects like history, beyond just research and academia, being a museum curator to being an archaeologist to going and working in, if you love spaces like libraries, going and working in those domains. There are also areas like library sciences which you can go further and study. So the entire world of humanities is huge, and this I've just given you a, not even 0.5% of an overview. When we look at even other areas like psychology, One could work in, from sectors or domains like hospitals to clinics to corporates to schools, education sector, to, anywhere and everywhere, right? At different capacities, at different roles. So when you're picking up a domain, it is, or a career, it is also important to see where do you imagine yourself, or what do you imagine yourself doing? What are the tasks or roles that you imagine yourself handling? That decides which could be the right way or path for you to take to pursue that domain or career. Because when we look at the entire domain of humanities, it is so flexible that even in the same sector, same industry, same roles, you see people coming from different backgrounds, coming from different domains and working in that area. And not just humanities stand alone, but even when I talk about humanities, with areas like technology, we are talking about things like digital humanities specialists, or we are talking about people, working in technology and AI ethics, or we are talking about people working in domains like, AI or tech related specialized lawyers, right? Or even when I look at management or commerce with areas like, marketing and PR and human resources and corporate social responsibility, where multiple domains come together beautifully for you to explore multiple domains together. Now, apart from this, there are a lot of domains which anybody with any set of background is able to pursue. Like, for example, hospitality, to mass media and communication, to areas like design, or areas like law, areas like performing arts, right? Now, when you're talking about these areas, these are specialized domains in themselves. These are professional courses in themselves. Make sure you explore them before you decide that, okay, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a designer, this is the field I want to go into. Whether you take a course full-fledged in this area, in these areas, or even if you're taking them along with certain areas, right? Along with a different domain. Let's say, I'm interested in psychology, I'm also interested in design, I go and further explore areas like social design, right? So how we're bringing up more than one domain together to be able to explore multiple interests is also what you'll be able to do with the help of a lot of new age courses, redesigned curriculums, pedagogy, for you to explore those domains together. Now, coming to the university scenario right now, a lot of tips, tricks, suggestions, advices with which Sunita ma'am talked about is going to be helpful not just only for STEM courses, but also in general, irrespective of the course or universities you're going to be applying for, right? A lot of you, I'm assuming, would have applied to certain places. Some of you are waiting to apply for more places, right? Now, we understand that if you're looking at, let's say, a national level entrance, let's say CUET, also ideally apply to more universities, let's say private universities or state level entrances in colleges and universities, to be able to keep your backups, right? So that you have multiple options. So one is that you're applying for more than one course, let's say as a plan A, a plan B, right? Depending on your interest and what courses you're exploring and looking at and what domain you're from. And also in reference or in, related to those courses, the universities that you're applying for, right? So I am, let's say, looking at one entrance, I'm not sitting for that standalone entrance. I'm also sitting for multiple entrances. For those of you who have, sat for one attempt, you are thinking of going for another attempt for the same universities. Some of the universities have also have started allowing that thing, that you can sit for multiple attempts, more than one take, beyond one, especially the private universities, right? Now, if you will look at the current scenario, I know a lot of applications have closed down, or some of them have recently closed down. just take a note that some of the applications for certain private universities are closing in a day or two. So make sure if you're planning to apply even as a backup, make sure you do apply and submit your application. Some of the universities you could look at as a whole in general, if I talk about, because there were multiple questions related to what could be the best set of universities, domain wise, or what could you look at. And this list also works for the present grade 12 students who would be applying this year later. So major universities through CUET, including universities like Delhi University, Ambedkar, VHU, which you might be targeting, two liberal education universities like Ashoka, Azim Premji, OP Jindal, Flame, Kriya, to even other private universities from Symbiosis, Christ, Shivnadar, all of this could be on your list, right? Now, apart from that, if you're looking at right now, some places which might be accepting or taking admission on the basis of merit, they will be open or they will open in the near future, of course, because they are taking admission on the basis of your grade 12th marks. And most of them will be on their entrance base, for which some of them have closed their applications, some will, close in the near future, some are still ongoing. So some of the places you could check down for multiple courses through different domains, including humanities, could be a lot of colleges in Mumbai, right? Especially the ones looking at your admission through merit basis. So Mumbai University College, you can even look at some of the liberal education universities. You can look at Symbiosis, you can look at Flame, you can look at Shivnadar, you can look at Mount Carmel, you can look at SRM, Xavier's, Christ is closing this round, in the very near future. So check these major universities to apply, right? Now, a lot of you have confusion around CUET. We understand that rules, regulations change, and this year also there were certain changes. But finally, the applications opened, and I hope most of you applied, right? And you filled in your subjects very wisely and smartly. Now, with the combination of subjects that you have filled through, remember, students, you could apply for multiple domains and multiple courses. So your CUET application forms are closed, right? You will have your exams, you will have your CUET results. Now, after that, a lot of universities will also have their own application form or their own portals. Like Delhi University will open its own allocation portal where you fill up, okay, what courses and what colleges within Delhi University you are targeting or you want to apply for, right? Now, make sure that the university specific forms which you are filling, first of all, make sure that you're filling them and you're in no confusion that, okay, CUET is the only form that you had to fill. Secondly, you're filling them smartly, wisely, making your picks and choices properly, because after that, you won't be able to change. And you will accordingly be allocated your universities and your courses. So the same set of subject papers which you are sitting for, in the CUET, you could use those combinations to apply to multiple universities for multiple courses and give your choices accordingly. Yes, make sure that you cross-check the requirements of subjects for a particular course and university, and that you have sat for that subject. Let's say if a particular university requires compulsorily general ability test for a particular course, you should have appeared for that, right? So that is something you will need to check. Make sure you go to the NTA website. You are using your NCERT grade 12th as a base for your CUET exam preparations. The nta.cuet.ac.in is the website you look at for, and if you have any confusion related to what university is accepting it, what university is not, some of the state and even private universities are also accepting CUET. So make sure that you are looking at that as well. Right. So if there are more questions we have right now from the audience who has joined in right now, we will take those. And then we would love to take some more questions, which all of you earlier submitted and wanted it to be addressed. A lot of it, which we already tried addressing while talking to all of you, but we'll take some more specific questions.
Sana, I'll quickly just share my screen. I want something to show that will just summarize a lot of what we said. Is it visible?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Wonderful. Great. So I was giving an example, and Sana and Sunita ma'am beautifully elaborated on that. So let's look at a company like Netflix, right? Now, take a minute, observe this page. You can go home and check it as well. Between all three domains, you have wonderful careers that you can look at a great company like Netflix, right? I'm just scrolling through very slightly, and these are spread across streams as well. If you look at it, I can still enter this field and join Netflix as an engineer. I can get in through a humanities career like customer experience, human resources, as a management career as well in financial planning, and multiple overlaps in domains as well. A lot of these careers you see here are stream agnostic as well. And not just at a company like Netflix, we also have a company like Google where I can look at multiple functions. So I want you all to keep in mind while you explore colleges, spend some time in understanding what all functions are available for you. Right? Sana quickly wanted to share that. That's it.
Yeah,
Great.
there
Thank
is
you so
one more question in the chat. I would like to
Yeah.
take it. How does JOSA counseling happens and they want to know a brief about it? I can give you a brief about how it is going to happen. Now, when it comes to JOSA counseling, first, once the student has written JEE means, through JEE mains score, they can apply to NITs, triple ITs, and GFTIs through the JEE main score, for which they will have to apply for counseling process. This counseling process, we call it as JOSA counseling. And those students who want to apply for IITs, they will have to write JEE and they will have to apply to the same counseling process through JEE advanced score. Okay, so when it comes to JOSA, you will have to register for this JOSA website, and they will release that website by the first week of June. And after registering it, you will have to do the choice filling. The preference list you will have to make depending upon whatever score the child has taken, either based on JEE mains or based on JEE advanced. They will have to keep the preference. Then you will have to log the choices, and then you will have to, once the mock allotment is happening, after mock allotment happens, the mock seat allotment takes place. After it happens, you will have to print the allotment letter, either accept it, or if you want to, if you got the right college, you can accept it. Otherwise, you can keep it and then float it. So there later, once you get the accepted, that is the right college which you were expecting, you can go for document verification. Everything happens online here. And after document verification, you will have to pay a seat acceptance fees and download the verification letter, go to the respective institute and report over there. This is how JOSA counseling happens. And this happens for two different things. One is for IITs separately through JEE Advanced Score. I'm repeating it. And another one is through JEE Main Score. You can apply to NITs, triple ITs, and GFTs. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. There's another question. Okay, so for those of you who have missed certain university deadlines like CUET and PAT, first of all, one input, especially for private universities, do check the university websites regularly. Some of the websites also open for further rounds their application. Another thing, the set of universities which I mentioned a while back, and I'll repeat that for you. Yes, those are the places which you could still check and explore as per the course you want to apply for, which are still open, but make sure you go and check them because some of them might be closing down really soon. So one set of universities could be universities, of course, which accept the admission on the basis of merit, which will be on the basis of your grade 12th marks, and some of the other private universities who still have their applications open. So you could check colleges under Mumbai University, you can check Xavier's, Ferguson, Loyola, Presidency, you can check Bennett, UPS, you can check Christ, Shivnadar, SRM. So yes, there will still be places you will have options to apply for. So the ones you've missed down, leaving that apart, the ones which are open, you can focus on them and apply and prepare for the entrance and appear there. And these universities will have multiple courses you could look at depending on the domain you're interested in. Yep. Great.
You can put across your specific questions also. We'll try and address as many as we can.
Yes, for JEE, it is mandatory to have 4 subjects, PCM with either computer science or anything. PCM plus English is a must. Apart from that, the 5th subject is important.
Great. There were a certain set of questions which earlier came related to sociology and a combination of subjects to be taken with sociology. Now, when you look at other disciplines going together with sociology, now sociology is the study of society, right? Now, first of all, a lot of social sciences and humanities domains along with it go well. If you want something really close and related or looking at a backup or an alternative, let's say psychology or social psychology, or even parts and areas of politics to political science to history to philosophy, depending on what part in sociology you're more interested in, there'll be parts of other domains and disciplines of social sciences which will be overlapping. Now, other way to look at it is any other domain or area of interest that you have, you can combine it with that. Let's say you're interested in economics and international relations, you could combine it with that. You could combine it with polity. You can combine it with geography. You can combine it with even new age domains like sustainability or environmental sustainability. So the possibility is endless depending on what is it that you want to combine it with to understand what. Let's say you are interested in design along with sociology, you could explore domains like social design as well. So a lot of universities will also give you the option. Of course, there are liberal education universities which will give you an option to pick up domains as a major and a minor. There will also be other universities which will allow you to pick in terms of electives. Universities like Christ will also give you multiple options in forms of triple major courses, where sociology is one of the domain you could explore, or even more central or traditional universities like Delhi University will give you options. Let's say somebody studying a BA program with sociology as one of the domains, and they're also exploring other domains alongside it as well, right? So, of course, the possibility is endless depending on what other areas you're interested in along with it.
I also want to quickly address one common concern, right? There's an assumption that colleges don't exist. Please understand that. I'll give you 2 resources. You can go to the Mindler Career Library. You can sit with it, log into a dashboard. If you have an access, great. If you don't, you can make an access. That's fine. Otherwise, there's also an inbuilt AI tool that we have built to answer your career queries. It's called Orion AI, and it's very specific to questions. So even if you need further support and stay in touch, you can use these tools. Also, there's a lot of hearsay about certain colleges. I will sincerely request, do your own research. Don't look at third-party websites. If you are not sure, reach out, double check with people who know this, right? Also, I think ma'am was answering a question. Deadlines are very critical. Don't wait till the last day. Colleges have these seats being filled regularly. It's a very tricky time. A lot of kids who are looking at US now are not looking at backups, squandering. So understand. And if you have applied abroad and looking at a backup, this is the time. You're the smartest person in the world if you're looking at applying in India right now to just secure a seat. It's a very critical time for you as a student sitting in applying to colleges.
Great. There's a question in a Q&A, which is what exactly is needed for applying to a college or university? Well, that depends on the college and university that you're applying to, but basic what will be required for all universities or all your basic information to your transcripts, mark sheets, right? That is one basic demographic part of the application. Beyond that, it is also dependent on what kind of university or what university it is that you're applying to. Let's say if you're applying to a liberal education university, the application is going to be much more comprehensive and rigorous as compared to you are, let's say, just filling up a CUET form, right? Or just filling up a basic application to submit your request for a particular course in a university, which would then be very on point with your basic demographics, what course you want to apply for, and if you have a center preference for entrances. So that's what the application process part of it is. Beyond it, if there's an entrance you're sitting for, that is where the prep part from your side comes in. When you're prepping for your entrances, sitting for the entrance, now most of the entrances now are computer-based entrances, and some universities will also have a micro presentation or an interview, which also students need to be prepared for as a last round of the process of college application as well.
I'll quickly add to that. See, when we look at colleges in India in particular, only 5% colleges are merit-based, and those are very few. 60% colleges are entrance focused. You have to prepare for that. Remaining 35% are profile phase. When we look at those colleges, they're looking at your academic record, usually 9th onwards or 10th onwards, that considers every single class. All of them will require you to have a certain activity list that will be co-curriculars, extracurriculars, and maybe one essay or multiple essays broken down depending on the university. All of them will by default have an interview, right? Or multiple rounds of interviews. So be very careful. All of them will have an aptitude test. Now, this is not like the JEE or NEET test, but majorly evaluating on logical reasoning, quant, verbal skills, or general knowledge. These are the 4 parameters they are certain. And based on that, all of it evaluated, they do a holistic review and give you an offer letter or don't. Now, be mindful of 2 things. These universities are running in the last rounds. Even if you're wondering the deadline is next week, I would sit tonight and apply. And if you need more support, you can reach out to the team. There is a dedicated team of application support experts who do this day in, day out. Please don't hesitate in reaching out and don't postpone this. If you see a deadline is later, it's going to be a problem. Do it now. Okay, there's somebody who said that I have a question. I'm going to 12th. This year, I still haven't decided the course I want to do. I've been thinking about my interest. I'm not. Okay, so this is very common. In case you're not sure about what to do, there's few things you can try out. A, go back to your strengths, understand what you're good at. Second, also look at the opportunities available. I'll give you a simple metric, even for students who have done class 12. If you're looking at a career, ask yourself 2 questions. Is this career going to be relevant when I graduate? Don't plan for a career that's completing now or that's trending now. That's a very tricky word. Second, ask yourself the degree I'm looking at doing at the college, will that college give me the right kind of exposure? Is it in the right city? Is it in the right country? All of these factors help. Other bit is if you have no idea, I would genuinely encourage to save time and trouble. Go take a psychometric assessment. We will help you with that because you can continue delaying this for another 6 months or get an answer and discuss this. See, I can have a menu all day and not discuss, but a Zomato can recommend things based on my preferences. That's where data comes in. Similarly, we work towards psychometrics and you have a team of coaches who can make it easier for you to decide. So that will be the easier path.
Great. Now, a couple of questions we got were also related to whether just applying for CUET or a couple of entrances and universities is okay, or should I apply to a lot of universities? Where is the balance? Now, remember, it is not about the quantity, right? It is about a curated, personalized, customized university list for you, which makes sense for you, right? Which you are targeting. So of course, a smart thing is not to just apply for one entrance and depend for it. Also, like CUET, because if you look at in the timeline, it is happening post your exams, and later on when a lot of private universities applications have already closed down. So a proper university list will have more number of colleges and universities as backups as well for the courses that you are targeting. So an ideal way to curate it could be certain dream universities and colleges, right? Certain safety and multiple competitive or reach university or colleges that you could look at. So remember, it has to be curated as per the course and what you are targeting to apply to, rather than just looking at the numbers, but of course more than one, a much longer list, right? Media and design, a lot of universities. Great, Abhishek has shared the list for you. You can also check the career library for a detailed.
Mr. Asha, or who, if it's a student, we spoke about commerce, science, humanities, all 3 domains in particular. I'm not sure what part did you join, but if you need more options, we're very happy to help. You can go to the career library. We'll talk about it. I know there are multiple domains we can't cover, but if you have a specific question, feel free to put it across. We'll try and answer right away, or you can reach out to us later. That's fine.
Great. Perfect. Criteria for choosing the best colleges, well, multiple factors which we already talked about, but again, putting together all those factors, the prioritization of those factors could vary for person to person, student to student. But a lot of these factors, which even Sunita ma'am talked about, from faculty to industry exposure and collaboration to your course requirements, what are you looking at studying, to eligibility, to campus, to to infrastructure, facilities, alumni, placements, a lot of factors come into picture. But what major factor is, of course, you being thorough with the curriculum of what you're going to study there. Because a lot of students, the major blunder they do is that, okay, I like economics, I want to do economics, so I'll apply to every place with economics. Now you understand the same economics course could be taught very differently in different universities, right? Let's say how Ashoka is teaching economics versus Delhi University is teaching economics versus NMIMS is teaching economics could be very different in terms of exposure, pedagogy, and different things might work for different people. Different students might expect different things from a course or university. So for that to happen, you need to also do your research, look at the curriculum before you decide what is it that you're going to study, or whether to pick up a course or a BSc course, or let's say I want to go for psychology. Even deciding, do I go for a BA course, do I go for a BSc course, do I go for applied psychology, do I go for it as a major, as a minor in a liberal education university or a different university, could enhance or change your experience, right? So those factors do matter a lot. Make sure that you look into them before making a final choice that, okay, I'm going to study this course in this particular university, and what are the courses that university is known for. Because the ranking of the universities could also be course specific. It's not generic. Let's say I go to a university hearing that, oh, it is great, but then I realize that, okay, it is known for a humanities course, and I go there to study chemistry, and my experience does not turn out to be that great, right? So it is also about what am I going to study in what university. Great. Perfect. Are there any more questions we have from all of you joined?
Nothing
Yes.
is there in the chat right now as of
Yeah, so a lot of questions which I've taken are also the list that the students submitted earlier for the webinar. Yeah, and some we took from chat and some we took from the Q&A. If you need to have one-on-one counseling whom you can approach, we have written the contact details in the chat box. You can take from there. Me and Abhishek has also shared his email ID. I'll be happy to share mine as well in case you want to directly reach out and want specific personalized guidance. We'd be happy to chat about that. Great. Now, multiple times there have been questions about CA with BCom versus BBA, stuff like that. Now, remember, students, a lot of career domains that you want to go for, you can go through a BCom or a BBA route as well, right? So a lot of options are not getting closed for you, but if you're still stuck making a choice, which could be your plan A or plan B, if you're looking at a more academic oriented curriculum and is very sure that, okay, CA is something you want to do and you want something aligning with it, a BCom might work better for you. If you're someone who's more inclined towards understanding businesses and how businesses operate and work, and want a more professional degree, then a BBA degree might work for in that debate and confusion about BCom or BBA. But like I said, a lot of careers and sectors that you go and work in later, you could go through either routes, either a BCom or a BBA as well. Perfect. University list I've shared. We've talked about also the universities, a lot of them which are open, you can look at. Some of them which are closed, keep checking them. Like I said, if you, in case they're opening for other further rounds. Great. Now, after the entrance part, a lot of universities might have some of them will have a counseling process, like ma'am explained first, or the counseling process. Some of them would also have interviews or something like a micro presentation, what Christ University does. So make sure that you're also eventually going ahead and prepping for that, because appearing and sitting for an interview and clearing one is also an art itself, right? It is not just a conversation, right? You could if you're smart enough, you could decide what direction of interview you can take into. So talking to a lot of students and guiding them through different universities or within the same universities, the kind of questions which you get in interviews could vary from technical questions to questions about your profile in portfolio and what things have you explored or projects you have done, to about the university or why do you want to pursue that course. So be thorough, be prepared, work on your communication skills, have your answers prepared, but don't muck them up as if you're just, vomiting it out there. But make sure you're also moving ahead, focusing on the interview prep part as well, beyond just the entrance for the universities which have interview as a part of the selection process, right? Because that is going to be important and will have a weightage in the selection as well. Great. Ma'am, there's a question around for PCB students, what other exams they could look at except NEET, and also what could be some of the career options. So
See,
if
when
you
it
could
comes
take
to
that up.
PCB students, there is no more national level entrance exam is not conducted throughout. Because apart from NEET, there is some the next option is CUET that is available for these students which is conducted in the national level. Now, when it comes to the other things, when it comes to those students who are looking into agriculture, they will have to take up a CUET compulsory to get into ICAR affiliated colleges. And when it comes to private agricultural colleges, definitely they conduct their own institute level entrance exams. Now, when it comes to PCB options, there are biology related options. 70% of the options are research oriented, and we will have, and the rest of the things like pharmacy, you have sports science, you have environmental science, you have forensic science, you have nanoscience. There are a lot many options available for the students apart from the regular biology areas also. So even neuroscience is something that is very, very important. And nowadays it is picking up or gaining momentum with respect to the careers related to this. For all these options, the degree colleges will consider you for through your board exam marks. 12th board exam marks is going to be very important, followed by a interview. Or in some cases, there are institute level entrance exams also available for these courses, for which the student has to prepare for physics, chemistry, and biology again, right?
Great. I think those are great questions, and we put our email IDs. What I request is whatever doubts you have, reach out to us and try and do it earlier. I know in the next week, most of the applications are still going to disappear. So let's make sure you reach out, connect with us on LinkedIn, email, however you need to, give us a call, drop an email, and let's make sure we are able to get you to the best colleges. We still have the right time if done strategically, right? And we do appreciate all of you joining in. Thank you, students and parents. And we're here to support you, whatever you may need, but let's act quick.
Great. Thank you so much, all the students and parents. Reach out if there are more questions. We would also love to help each one of you individually. And all the best to all the students till, preparing for entrances. All the very best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good